Now I want to talk about measures of dispersion. Still in economics. Measures of dispersion. It's simply, measure of dispersion is simply the degree. Is seen as a degree of which numerical data is spread across the average. Sometimes, measure of dispersion has come to expose or to reveal the deception in average. Okay? Sometimes, average calculation could be very deceptive. So, measure of dispersion has come to expose those deception and to make straight some figures in between the average. Sometimes when you have about 1, 2, 3 to 10, the average will just talk about the 10 or 1, 2, 3, 4 to 10 or to 11. It will spot out the middle. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 could be. That's the average. Okay, now the half of it. Now it ignore the figures in between 1, 2, 3, 5, and 7, 8, 9, 10. That's what it's trying to talk about. So it ignores. So the degree. So the measure of dispersion has come to it shows the degree at which the numerical data is spread across the average. Okay, it just measures the variation. Okay, it just measures the variation of figures in a data given from the average. It measures the variation of figures in a data of the average. Okay, for instance, let's talk about let's talk a class. Okay, a class average mark is given. Now we are going to talk about that now. A class average mark is given maybe an economics, for instance, that we are teaching. Okay, in an economic test. Okay, then then it is said that might be that an average. Okay, an average mark that is given to all the economic students that wrote. Okay, economics. Now average is given as maybe let me just 70%. Okay, 70%. Okay, so this is taken as the true representation, which is not true. That's the deception we are talking about. It's not the true sense, because in between there are people who score 40, 50, 70, 90, and so on. Some even score 100. Okay, now so if 70 is given as the average, is very deceptive and it's not true. So because it's given as the true representative of the performance in the students, okay, which may not be true in the system. So sometimes because of that, I've just made a mention of it. Now, what are the measures? How do we measure dispersion? We measure it through range, we measure it through mean deviation, and we measure it through standard deviation. Now let's go to the signboard now. Let's go and see what we're talking about. Let's go to the board right now and see. Now, see, we talk about a class. Okay, let's assume now that, for instance, that a class. Okay, now in a class where the average scores are given maybe by 5. Okay, let's see 5. Let's see the figures now. 5, 7, 9, 11, 13, 4, 10, 8, 4, 30. So I have to write them down. Let me repeat again. Now, the figures given here are 5, 7, 9, 11, 13, 4, 10, 8, 4, 30, Now, the formula given is that is higher than the solution. Let's do the solution now. Let's see the solution. The solution now is the highest minus the highest scores. The highest scores here in the whole thing, as you read, is 30. The highest score is equal to what? 30. Now, the lowest score, because it's in between. The formula is the highest score minus the lowest score. It gives you the deviation, the dispersion, the measure of the dispersion. They are using range. We are using range now. Okay, I've just mentioned that we are doing the calculation of range. Now, solution: highest score is 30. Then the lowest score in the class is what? 4. Okay, as you see, is 4. Okay, if you look, you have 4. The rest, this one 4. You have all the rest. Now the range is therefore the range will be equal to lowest highest minus lowest, which is equals to 30 minus 4, which is equals 26. So therefore, range is equals to 26. Thank you very much. That's range now. Okay, we've just discussed range. Okay, that's range for you. We just discussed about range, and that is what we have there. That's the range we have just discussed now. So we are going to the next class. In our next class, we're talking about mean deviation and standard deviation. They have their own formulas. Thank you very much. Keep coming, keep commenting, keep inviting students for classes.